Peace and blessings, beautiful stars. This is Dr. My Angel back with another update for our twin flames and our star souls who are going through their spiritual journey and their awakening. So the purpose of this voice recording is a response to one of my subscribers and video viewers who asked about a bunch of numbers that they kept on seeing and was looking for clarity in terms of why so many, why so incessantly, and please help me. I think I'm going mad. The video that I recorded maybe last year sometime, it's voice recording rather, did list a number of numbers that you would typically see when you're going through your awakening. However, this voice recording will go into depth for the purpose as to why you keep seeing all of these numbers. So first of all, I want to shout out to my loyal subscribers who have been so patient with me in terms of the waiting period for a new voice recording to drop. I've been going through my own twin flame journey during this whole pandemic and quarantine, and balancing the physical and spiritual world has been quite a challenge, to say the least. And so you will also notice that on my channel, I have scrubbed a lot of content that I didn't feel was necessarily helpful when it comes to pushing star souls along the journey. Some of the tarot card readings had a very codependent-esque quality to them. And so I chose to just keep content up that would be beneficial for everyone, and that would be timeless, and that would help to elevate and augment any vibrational energy that a viewer came across or was experiencing rather. So that is my intro. And now let's get into clarifying why you keep seeing all of these numbers. So we're going to start with the number 1111. 1111 is an awakening number. It is a number that you would typically see when you are first awakening to the fact that you are a twin flame and that you are a soul here on earth. It is when you can find, it's almost like seeing yourself in the mirror, but instead of seeing your physical reflection, you're seeing the spiritual reflection of yourself. And so that number 1111 is a way that the universe is sending you information to let you know that you have finally seen the light. It's typically a number, if you are a twin flame, that you will see when you go into separation from your divine feminine or your divine masculine, and you begin to experience your divine masculine or feminine on an energetic level, which is very hard to explain for many unless you've actually lived the experience. Yet, it is a number that is number pattern that is extremely important, because it reminds you constantly that not only are you a physical being here on earth, and you are also a soul here on earth. So you begin to realize that your soul is in your physical body, or what I call your avatar, and your experiences start to become shown through a vibration, an energetic vibration which is separate from the physical experience that you are used to. So it is an awakening number. Another number that you will see incessantly is the number 333. Okay. So 333 is extremely important. And the reason why it's important is because as you navigate this physical world and you start breaking down the matrix and you start to really go down that rabbit hole, so to speak. If you ever seen the movie Alice in Wonderland, Alice goes down the rabbit hole and she starts to experience a whole new world, so to speak. Very good movie. You haven't seen Alice in Wonderland, watch it. If you haven't seen The Matrix, watch it. Very great Hollywood depictions of what happens when you are going through the awakening process. So it's almost during that time you'll notice that you have to make a choice. Either you're going to take the blue pill and you're going to stay in the physical world and just be content with what the machine is pushing towards you. Or you're going to take the red pill and you're going to become a spiritual warrior and you're going to be able to break the matrix and learn about everything that you were lied to, okay? All of the misconceptions, all of the myths, all of the half-truths that were given to you from the time that you were incarnated here on earth. You begin to now remove that veil, or you begin to now peel back the social constructs and the veneer that was placed on your mind from the time that you incarnated here on at birth. So what you have to understand that this is truly a distinction between your soul's journey from understanding that you're a divine being through your twin flame journey, and that understanding that you are a soul here on earth, and that is your spiritual journey. They do overlap, but there are two distinct differences in experiences that you experience. Now, what's interesting is that while you're experiencing your whole soul's growth, so is your twin. So while they're two separate experiences, they still overlap, they're interconnected, and they intertwine as well. And that is a whole another conversation that we can have at a later time. But the number that you would typically see is 333, which is basically saying that your ascending masters, your angels, and the divine are protecting you and guiding you through this particular point in time, because you will begin to experience your shadow self. So you will do things that you thought that you wouldn't do. You would see things that you thought you would never see, and you experience another side of you that you thought that you would never experience. So it's basically, you will begin to experience the dark and light forces within yourself and the dark and light forces that exist within our galaxy, our universe, and our physical world. This is extremely important because you will think that you absolutely have lost your mind at a certain point in time during your journey. You will go into a dark, dark, dark night. You will go into a shadow world. And during that shadow world, it's almost like you're living a dream. And you're trying to escape it. And this is necessary, because as you begin to purge and as you begin to develop into your true self, these dark forces must be addressed, must be experienced, must be realized in order for you to balance out your energy. So you will see the number 333 very frequently. The next number you will experience is number 444. So there will be a point in time during your journey where you're pretty much split between the physical world and the spiritual world. So on one hand, you still have a foot in the physical world and you're still trying to live your old life. I like to think of the movie Ghost. I don't know if anyone's ever seen it. It's another really good movie starring Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore. And in this movie, Patrick Swayze is killed. He's killed and his soul is separate from his body. And so he doesn't recognize that his soul is separate from his body. He thinks he's still a physical body and he tries to run after his murderer. He turns back around to, save his girlfriend. Her name is Molly in the movie. The main character's name is Sam. And when he goes back, he sees himself, his physical body on the ground, dead. And then he sees himself alive in his spiritual body. And so then the reason why I'm bringing up this movie is because the analogy that I'm trying to paint is that once you have awakened, it's very difficult. I mean, it's impossible for you to ever experience and recognize yourself as that same person. It's almost as if your true self is not alive, your soul, and your physical body is obviously, if you're still living a physical life and you're still in human form, you're alive, but you're able to consciously separate from your physical body here on earth and live an experience through your higher self or your soul. Not everyone has the capability of doing that, and you can do that. You can actually astral travel and astral project, so you'll start to have those experiences as well. And that is when you will typically see the number 444. 444 is pretty much, you're seeing a lot of the signs, you're seeing a lot of the synchronicities, and it is also just basically the universe's head nod that, yeah, you're a soul in a human body and with super, super special powers. And so we're going to work with you. So we're going to drop some coins here. We're going to drop some feathers here. We're going to make magic with you. And we want you to explore your powers. And we will help you. We will help you to feel more comfortable when you shift out of your physical human body into this divine consciousness. We're going to help you. So follow this feather, follow these coins, pay attention to the numbers. You will also feel, for those of you who are twin flames, you would definitely feel very, very close to your divine feminine or divine masculine. A lot of 5-dimensional and telepathic communication will be exchanged during this time when you begin to see the number 444. 555 is a number of transformation. So the number 555, typically you will see that during a time of transformation. So if you're fasting, if you are, separating yourself now from the dark and light forces, and maybe now you're more in your light body. If you are going through some type of physical changes as well, sometimes it could be gaining weight, losing a lot of weight, relocating, changing jobs. It's about transformation and change. And so typically that number will appear when it is time for you to transform. So I like to think of the death card and the tarot. And I like to think about And it's interesting because I know not everyone is into tarot. So I will do a bonus recording towards the end for those of you who are tarot readers and you are trying to match those number patterns with cards that you see in the tarot deck. So that will be next after I finish this for the collective who's trying to understand these number patterns. So 555 is a number for transformation. 000 or 00, that's pretty much a number for new beginnings. You'll see that a lot when you experience any new beginnings. And sometimes this can be after a rough period of time, needing to take a leap of faith. You'll see that number appear a lot. And then 000. Another number that I want to discuss is 777. That is a high divine number. If you see the number 777, that pretty much means that you're entering the gates of heaven. And your relationship and your connection to the universe is so high vibrational and so elevated that it may appear that you feel like you are dead, but you're here on earth, right? So it almost will feel like you've totally separated from your human body, even though you're physically still here on earth. And you have just this a divine spiritual connection to the divine. I mean, a strong spiritual connection to the divine. I'm sorry, I'm downloading and receiving these messages, and I'm trying to keep up my language and my speed with the timing that I'm receiving these messages. So I apologize if I keep stumbling over my words. It's just me trying to communicate as fast as I'm receiving the messages. So let's see. Is there anything else? Okay. Very important. When do you see these numbers? How do you know the difference between you attracting the numbers because these are numbers that you just happen to see all the time, or if these numbers are communicated to you? So everyone has DNA in their body. Everyone has an energetic body, a ethereal body that you're connected to. So think of like the hair on your body as being antennas to the ethereal world. And there's a code, a communication base, your DNA that's in your physical body that links you to the ancestral world. Okay. I'm sorry. Celestial world. I mix ancestors with the celestial world together. The celestial world. So you basically have a computer code within your body that is your DNA that is linked to the celestial world. So you will know that these are numbers you're receiving a text message from the universe whenever you see the number patterns in like maybe 3 different forms, maybe within 3 different short periods of time. So let's say you see the number 1111, you may see the number 1111 on a bank statement, followed by you're driving and then a car pulls in front of you with the license plate that says number 1111. You look up at the clock. Every time you look up at the clock, it's 1111. Your friend that you haven't spoken to in years, happens to send you an email, and the email is stamped 1111. This all happens either on the same day, over maybe 3 different days, and then you get a feeling that's like a vibrational feeling. This is basically a text message from the universe and the universe is communicating with you. Okay.